NewsDesk on this 26th day of July 2016. Always a pleasure to have you tuned in. My name is Akisa Wandera. I will be taking you through the program. Some of the top stories that we are following up on this hour. We will definitely be bringing you an update on the attack in France, of course, that happened a while ago. And we will definitely be bringing you updates on the same. Back in the country, we are taking a look at the Joint Select Committee spearheading reform talks on the IEBC. County Assemblies Forum has made its presentation. We will be speaking to our parliamentary reporter, Patrick Amimo, who will be joining us from Parliament with updates on what was said and some of the submissions that were given at that particular Joint Select Committee. This among other stories that are lined up for you here on NewsDesk. But first, let's take a look at the highlights. Members of the county assemblies present their views at the Parliamentary Joint Select Committee on IEBC reforms. More uncertainty in South Sudan as President Salva Kiir replaces Riek Machar as his first vice president. And Democrats converge in Philadelphia as Hillary Clinton is set to be announced as the first woman Democratic presidential flag bearer. Good afternoon. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, members of the county assemblies and their speakers want the date of their next general election moved to March 2018. Their representatives have told a parliamentary committee on electoral reforms. Speaking under the banner of the County Assemblies Forum at the ongoing Parliamentary Joint Select Committee on Electoral Reforms, they said their arguments are based on their interpretation of the Constitution. Stephen Gelu, who spoke on their behalf, said this was also the basis of the case they have filed in court. He, however, came under fire from the lawmakers who argued that their interpretation of the Constitution is misleading and accused them of being selfish. Here is part of this morning's proceedings.
The election is going to be on the 8th of August 2017. So let us have a discussion on how we will make, even if it's a constitution, to comply with that. And just to save time and for your ease of preparation, we are not going to have different dates for election of MCAs, senators, MPs, women reps and governors, and the president. So, because I know there is a lot of anxiety among the MCAs that what the constitution says. In case the constitution is at variance with 8th of August, 8th of August will prevail by us changing the Constitution.
Last year alone, the IEBC requested for 1.5 billion shillings for the massive registration exercise that they did, but only got 500 million. Would you suggest to Treasury and IEBC that for purposes of ensuring that the rights of Kenyans under the Constitution to vote are not impeded by the bureaucracy, the persons who are now eligible by virtue of holding an identity card should immediately be converted into registered voters? That's one. Number two, your document has something very strange. It reads, it should be noted, out of this, 2.7 are projected dead. I'm very curious about the word projected dead. Are they confirmed dead or they are projected? Is this the same number of persons? Because we have had a problem in elections, and I've participated in election petitions since 2003. Are these the people who are constantly voting? Because your records are not confirmed dead, is projected dead.
All right, and away from that, the Institution of Surveyors in Kenya has predicted a loss of 4 billion Kenya shillings owing to the closure of 13 land registries. The exercise is expected to last for 2 months is in order to facilitate digitization. The loss may affect a number of stakeholders, inclusive of the government, which will lose 2 billion shillings worth of revenue in the process.
We are concerned about haphazard and unilateral manner in which the Cabinet Secretary has gone about this process, which in our view is unlikely to achieve the intended objectives. Our view is that the Land Information System is an elaborate process that requires wide consultation and planning prior to implementation. It is not a piecemeal digitization as it seems to appear. We believe stakeholders should be involved in the process. The process ought to commence after the manual records have been cleaned out. Otherwise, we will be digitizing faulty records. If well planned, we believe that the digitization of records can run parallel to the normal services without closing the land registries.